Let me say something that sounds harsh, but is statistically accurate. Most people watching this right now will never understand money. Not because they're stupid, not because they're lazy, not even because they don't work hard, but because the system taught them just enough to survive and not enough to escape. And here's the scary part. Once someone locks into the wrong money beliefs, they defend them like religion, which means they don't just stay broke, they stay confused forever. And here's the part nobody tells you. You can make more money, you can get promotions, you can even hit six figures, and still have no idea how money actually works. That's why you see people earning more than ever, but feeling poorer than ever. That's why financial advice sounds contradictory. Why one person says save, another says invest, and somehow both sides are stressed. So by the end of this video, you're going to understand why millions never get it, and more importantly, how you quietly step out of that group. So let's start with the most dangerous misunderstanding of all. Reason number one, most people think money is about income. It's not. All right, pay attention because this is the original sin of personal finance. People think, if I just make more money, everything will fix itself. That belief alone ruins entire lives. Because income feels powerful. It feels visible. It feels like progress. But income is not wealth. Income is movement. Wealth is position. Let me explain using the treadmill metaphor. Income is like running on a treadmill. You can sprint, you can jog, you can even go full Rocky Balboa. But the second you stop running, you go nowhere. Wealth is standing on an escalator that moves without you. And here's the problem. Most people never stop running long enough to ask why they're exhausted. Easy example. Think about the hardest working person you know. The one always busy, always tired, always stressed. Now think about the calmest person you know with money. Not flashy, not loud, but never panicking. Which one understands money better? Exactly. Because the person who understands money stops asking, how do I earn more? And starts asking, how do I keep money working without me? That's the pivot most people never make. Here's why this trap is so effective. Schools reward income, grades, job, paycheck. Society praises income. What do? Social media flexes income. Cars, trips, lifestyle. But no one brags about cash flow, ownership, time leverage, boring assets that quietly pay bills, because those aren't sexy. They're just powerful. So people chase raises, then promotions, then side hustles. They stack effort instead of leverage. And when they finally earn more, their lifestyle quietly expands to match it. Now they're running faster, on the same treadmill. That's how someone can make $40,000 and feel broke. Then make $80,000 and still feel broke. Then make $120,000 and somehow feel stressed and broke. Not bad luck, bad understanding. Money doesn't reward effort, it rewards structure. And most people were never taught structure, which leads to the next problem. And this one is even more dangerous. It's where things get uncomfortable, because even when people start learning about money, they still learn it backwards, and that mistake keeps them stuck for decades. Let's talk about the lie that sounds responsible, but quietly destroys wealth. Reason number two, most people confuse being responsible with building wealth. Look, this one hurts because it sounds smart. Most people think, I'm good with money, I budget, I don't overspend, I'm responsible. And they are. That's the tragedy, because responsibility is not the same thing as progress. Responsibility keeps you from falling. Progress moves you forward. And most people spend their entire financial life just trying not to fall. Let me paint a familiar picture. You track expenses, cut back on fun, skip trips, stress over small purchases, feel guilty buying anything extra. On paper, you're doing everything right, but year after year, your net worth barely moves. That's not discipline failure. That's a strategy failure. I mean, here, I'll just give you my food analogy. Think of budgeting like dieting. It works short term. It requires constant willpower. And the second you stop paying attention, you rebound. Wealth building is changing your metabolism. You don't try harder. You redesign the system so effort isn't required. Most people never make that switch. They white-knuckle their finances forever. This is why responsible people are often the most bitter about money. They did what they were told. They sacrificed. They delayed gratification. And the payoff never came. So when someone else wins financially in a different way, they call it lucky, risky, unrealistic. Not because it is, but because it threatens the story they've been telling themselves. Money doesn't reward denial. It rewards direction. Saving without investing is just delayed spending. Budgeting without ownership is just survival, which leads us directly to the next problem. And this is where things get dangerous. Because once people accept slow progress as normal, they start playing defense instead of offense. And defense mode thinking quietly kills wealth. Reason number 3. Most people are terrified of risk, but don't understand it at all. Ask the average person what their financial goal is. They'll say something like, I just want to be safe. Sounds reasonable, sounds mature. It's also one of the most expensive beliefs you can hold. Here's the biggest lie about risk. People think risk means investing, starting something, trying a new strategy, not knowing the outcome. But that's not the most dangerous risk. The most dangerous risk is doing the same thing for 40 years and hoping it magically works out. That's not safe. That's blind faith. Now let's talk about safe choices. Keeping money in cash. Avoiding investing because it's volatile. Relying on a paycheck forever. Trusting systems you don't control. These feel safe because they fail slowly. Inflation doesn't punch you in the face. It quietly steals purchasing power. Job risk doesn't announce itself. It shows up in layoffs and restructures. Opportunity cost doesn't hurt today. It hurts in 10 years. Just think of it this way. Imagine 2 people. Person A saves $500 per month, keeps it in cash, avoids risk, feels calm. Person B invests imperfectly, makes mistakes, learns systems, builds ownership. 5 years later, Person A is confused why they feel behind. Person B understands money because they interacted with it. You don't learn money by protecting it. You learn money by using it. And I'm just going to say it. Fear of risk is really fear of embarrassment. Fear of being wrong. Looking dumb, making a mistake, losing temporarily. But wealth is built by people who accept short-term discomfort to avoid long-term regret. Most people do the opposite. They avoid discomfort now and guarantee regret later. And here's where it gets even more twisted. Because even when people try to learn, they're fed advice that's too vague to act on. That confusion keeps them frozen. Reason number 4, financial advice is so abstract that people can't use it. This is one of the most underrated reasons people stay broke. They're not lazy, they're not stupid, they're overloaded with vague advice. Think about the most common money advice you hear. Invest early. Let your money work for you. Build passive income. Think long-term. Sounds smart, feels inspiring, also completely unusable. This is almost like handing someone a pile of IKEA furniture and saying, just build it, you'll figure it out. No instructions, no steps, no order, then acting shocked when they sit on the floor surrounded by screws, confused and frustrated. That's how most financial advice is delivered. And I want to tell you exactly how this confuses most people. The brain doesn't act on inspiration, it acts on clarity. When advice is abstract, the brain goes, cool idea, no idea how to start. So people, watch more videos, read more posts, save more bookmarks. Feel productive without doing anything. That's not learning. That's intellectual entertainment. Easy example. Let's say someone hears, invest in assets. Okay. Which assets? How much? Where? What order? What if I mess it up? So instead of starting imperfectly, they wait. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. Now they say, I want to invest. I just haven't started yet. That sentence ruins lives quietly. And I gotta admit, abstract advice feels safe because it doesn't force decisions. No decision equals no responsibility. No responsibility equals no failure. But also, no progress. People mistake thinking about money for moving money. Those are not the same. Most people never get past inspiration. But here's the irony. Even when people do take action, they quit right before things start working. And this next reason explains exactly why. Reason number 5. People expect money to work fast. It never does. This one is brutal because technically, people start doing the right things. They just don't stick around long enough. Let me give you an easy analogy, so just stay with me on this one. Money works like planting seeds. Year 1, you plant, you water, nothing happens. Year 2, still nothing. You feel dumb, you feel behind. Year 3, tiny progress. Still unimpressive. Year 5, everything starts compounding. But most people dig up the seed in year 1 to check if it's working. Spoiler, it's not, because growth happens underground first. And want to know why people give up? It's because social media ruins patience. People see overnight success stories, viral wins, highlight reels. So when their progress feels slow, they assume, this must not be working. No, it's working exactly as designed. Compounding is boring until it's unfair. People don't quit because things fail. They quit because results don't emotionally reward them fast enough. Money teaches delayed gratification brutally, and most people are wired for instant feedback. Here's the hard truth. Understanding money requires patience, repetition, emotional control. 3 things modern culture actively destroys, which leads us to the next reason. And this one explains why even smart people screw this up. Because here's the twist. Intelligence doesn't help you with money. Sometimes it makes things worse. Reason number 6. Smart people overthink money until they're stuck forever. This one surprises people because we're taught that being smart is an advantage. In school, yes. On tests, yes. With money, not always. Sometimes intelligence is the trap. Smart people do this thing where they don't want to be wrong. So instead of acting, they research, compare, analyze, optimize, recheck, second guess. They want the perfect plan, but money doesn't reward perfect plans. It rewards executed plans. Here's how it plays out in real life. A smart person says, I just want to fully understand it before I start. So they read more articles, more opinions, more strategies, more edge cases. Now everything sounds risky. Everything feels complicated. Everything contradicts everything else. So they do nothing. That's not caution, that's fear wearing a graduation cap. How about we do this? Let's compare 2 people. Person A, average intelligence, picks a simple strategy, starts early, stays consistent. Person B, very intelligent, wants the best approach, keeps refining, delays starting. 10 years later, person A understands money deeply. Person B understands theories. Only one of those pays dividends. Here's why simple wins. Money systems don't need to be clever. They need to be repeatable, boring, emotion-proof. The smartest investors in the world don't win because they're geniuses. They win because they avoid doing dumb things repeatedly. That's discipline, not IQ. Here's the hardest truth. Smart people don't want to look dumb once, so they stay stuck forever. Average people are fine looking dumb early, and that's why they learn faster. Now, this next reason explains why even people who know better still make terrible money decisions, because money isn't logical. It's emotional. Reason number 7, money is an emotional game. Disguised as math. People love spreadsheets, they love calculators, they love numbers. But money decisions are rarely mathematical. They're emotional reactions justified with math afterward. Most money behavior comes from fear, shame, comparison, ego, scarcity, identity, not logic. That's why people overspend when stressed, panic sell when markets dip, avoid investing because of childhood beliefs, stay loyal to safe choices that hurt them. You can't understand money if you don't understand yourself. That's why 2 people with the same income make opposite decisions, get opposite results. Their math might be similar. Their emotional wiring is not. This is why people break their own budgets, abandon good strategies, chase trends, buy at the top, sell at the bottom. They react first and explain later. So basically, the people who understand money best don't eliminate emotion. They design systems that ignore it. Automatic investing, default decisions, rules instead of moods. Emotion is loud. Systems are quiet. Quiet wins. And now we get to the biggest illusion of all. Because even when people start doing everything right, they still measure the wrong thing. Reason number 8. People measure success by lifestyle instead of leverage. This might be the most deceptive trap of all, because it looks like success. New car, nicer apartment, better trips, upgraded clothes, better dinners. From the outside, you're doing well. From the inside, you're one missed paycheck away from panic. Here's the lie society sells you. If your lifestyle is improving, your finances must be improving too. Sorry to break it to you. Lifestyle can rise without wealth increasing at all. That's why people making $100,000 still feel broke. That's why people with high incomes feel trapped. That's why flex culture quietly destroys progress. Lifestyle is visible. Leverage is invisible. Guess which one actually builds wealth? Think of it this way. 2 people earn the same amount. Person A upgrades car, upgrades apartment, upgrades everything, net worth stays flat. Person B keeps lifestyle boring, builds assets quietly, reinvests excess, net worth compounds. 5 years later, person A looks richer. Person B is richer, and that difference compounds brutally over time. In my personal opinion, it all comes down to what you see online. Social media made this worse. You don't see boring portfolios, cash flow statements, ownership structures. Instead, you see consumption, flexing, highlight reels. So people start using other people's lifestyle as a scoreboard. That's how you end up racing people who are also lost. People who understand money ask these 3 questions. How much control do I have? How many months could I survive without income? What pays me even when I sleep? People who don't understand money ask, can I afford this? Does this look successful? What will people think? One set builds leverage. The other builds pressure. Now, here's the really uncomfortable part. Even when people start learning the truth, they often refuse to apply it. Not because they don't get it, but because it threatens who they think they are. Reason number 9. People attach their identity to bad money beliefs. This is where logic completely loses. Because once a belief becomes identity, facts don't matter anymore. Think about it. People don't say, I believe this about money. They say, I'm just not good with money. I'm not an investor. I'm not a business person. Money just stresses me out. That's not a belief. That's a label. And labels are prisons. I'll tell you exactly why this stops your learning. Once someone identifies as bad with money, risk-averse, not ambitious, not materialistic, they unconsciously reject anything that contradicts that identity, even if it would help them. That's why advice bounces off. Not because it's wrong, but because it threatens who they are. Identity-based beliefs are sticky. They survive. New information, better strategies, even proof, because changing identity feels like betrayal. That's why most people would rather stay confused than uncomfortable. People who understand money don't protect old identities. They adopt new ones. I'm learning. I'm experimenting. I'm building. Flexible identity equals flexible outcomes. Now here's the final nail in the coffin, because even if someone escapes every trap we talked about, there's still one force working against them, and it's the reason millions never will understand money. Reason number 10. The system quietly profits from confusion. This is the part people don't like hearing, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Most systems do not benefit from financially independent people. They benefit from predictable behavior, consistent spending, long-term debt, emotional decision-making. People who feel just okay enough to not rebel. Confused people are compliant people. Think about it. If money were taught clearly, people would question debt. They'd delay lifestyle upgrades. They'd prioritize ownership. They'd care less about status. They'd be harder to control. That's bad for industries built on interest, consumption, fees, convenience over clarity. So instead, people are taught just enough, save a little. Don't worry too much. It'll work out. Trust the system. That advice keeps things running smoothly for everyone except you. Here's why most people never escape. Because escaping requires questioning authority, delaying gratification, ignoring social pressure, being okay looking behind for a while, thinking independently. That's uncomfortable. So most people choose the easier path, confusion with comfort over clarity with responsibility. Now, since you made it this far, here's the line that explains everything. People don't fail to understand money because it's hard. They fail because understanding money forces uncomfortable changes. Once you understand money, you spend differently. You value time differently. You see lifestyle traps clearly. You stop caring about flexing. You start optimizing for freedom, not approval. That shift isolates you. And most people would rather belong than be free. That's why millions never get it. Not because they can't, it's because they won't. Bottom line, here's what you need to know. You don't need more motivation, more videos, more theories. You need clear systems, simple rules, boring consistency, emotional control, long-term thinking. That's how people quietly win. If this video hit a nerve, that's a good thing. It means you're starting to see the game differently. Drop a comment with the word clarity if this finally made money click for you. I read each one of them. And if you want the next logical step, there's actually one single lie that keeps people broke for years, and we break it completely down in the next video. Just click the video on the screen now, and we'll see you there.